Hello, my friends. This is Jen. We are on for some Mellow Out Sunday tonight. I am even going to put some socks on because it's kind of cold outside. Or inside, actually. I was just going to say, I biked a bunch today and it was kind of nice outside. But hope you're doing well. Hey, Gwen. If you have anything that you'd like to do in particular, definitely let me know. If there are any particular areas where you feel tight that definitely need some loosening up, you let me know. All right, we'll go ahead and get started shortly. Just in a really comfortable seat. So however you'd like to get there, I'm super mismatched today. So crazy. All right. We should call it Mellow Out Sunday with a wacky outfit too. All right. Right leg crossed in front of left. Let's relax our arms down by our sides and take a moment to close down your eyes. Just empty out your lungs here. And then take a full deep inhale, lengthen, breathe deep, fill up your lungs. And on your exhale, stay tall, soften your brow, your cheeks, your neck, your shoulders away from your ears, melt them down. Take another breath here, full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Tuck your chin in gently toward your chest. And on your next inhale, let your head roll over to your right shoulder. And continue as you allow your head to gently roll back toward the back of the room. Notice any change in your upper body. Stay lifted, stay tall. Gently allow your head to roll over to your left shoulder. Chin down toward your chest. Your next inhale, let's let this head gently roll over to our left shoulder. Slow, slow, allow your head to gently roll back. Your head roll over to your right shoulder. And chin back toward your chest. From here, keep your chin tucked. You can keep your eyes closed as well. Just listen to my words as you lean back. Switch out your legs, left leg crossed in front of your right, and then return just to that nice, comfortable seat. All right, keeping your chin tucked, roll your shoulders forward. So hollow out through your chest, let your arms be natural. And then pick up your shoulders up toward your ears and deliberately squeeze your shoulders, shoulder blades back behind. Good, couple more like this. Let your shoulders roll forward. Lift your shoulders all the way up toward your ears and squeeze your blades together. Twice more here. Roll your shoulders forward and lift them up. Squeeze your blades. One last time. Roll your shoulders forward. Lift them up and squeeze your blades. Good. Keeping your eyes closed. You can still manage it. Let's take these arms back behind. Interlace your fingers. Inhale, go. Lift your chest up nice and tall. Allow your knuckles to draw down toward the base of your spine, or if it feels okay, start to draw them a little bit upward toward the ceiling. And then we'll take one more breath here. Full deep inhale. Lift up tall through your chest. And exhale. Maybe you let your arms lift up a little bit higher. Nice. And then gently let go. Release your arms. Open your eyes. Nice. We'll keep our right leg bent. And then just extend your left leg out. bring this right heel as close as you can towards your hips. All right, so right heel as close as possible, just working a tight compression here. From this place, let's take this right arm inside of our right leg and just do a little bind if you can manage it. So your right armpit kind of goes inside of your right knee. And if you can manage it, again, your right arm wraps around. Left arm, you wrap around as well. Maybe you grab a hold of something. If this is not working, no problem, right? You keep your right arm braced in front of your right leg, reach your left arm up, or you can keep it back behind you as well. Maybe like a half bind situation works better for you. Let's just take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, let's twist. Push your arm against leg. Open your chest. One more time. Inhale, lift up on your right hand side. Nice. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Good, and then gently untwist. From this place, let go of your hands if you had them. We'll face kind of in between our legs and start to walk your hands out. Now, this might not be a trivial situation depending on how you're feeling today or just in general even. Absolutely feel free to bring your hands back behind, lift yourself up, and give yourself a gentle hinge forward. Use your hands for a little bit of help. If you're feeling like you're able to hinge without that assist, absolutely start to crawl your arms forward. Maybe it's your hands that rest against the floor. Maybe you can let your elbows, forearms rest against the floor. I love this place for a couple of reasons. One, that huge inner thigh stretch feels so nice. But also I love this. This really tight compression you have for your hips, your heel close with your hips. So good for us to just have that range of motion and be accessible to us when we need to use it. So let's hang out here for a little bit longer. Your hands either in front or hands back behind. If the hands back behind is too much effort, you can just let yourself be. Maybe your right arm pushes against your right leg and you push your left hand against your left leg. That might be a good option as well, so you don't have to use your hands to help you. Let's hang out here for another full minute. So it really gives us time to marinate, enjoy this stretch. But if at any point in time you feel like overly rounded or sunk, right, you take your halfway lifts and really feel a bit more length, right? Even if it's just in the sides of your body, not just your spine. We'll hang out here, make use of your breath. So nice, full, deep in. Long, slow exhale out. And the best we can even here, it's easier said than done for sure, is letting this right butt cheek drop down toward the floor as well. I will be the first to admit that mine's not quite there, but we're sort of going for a bit of even distribution best we can. All right, just a little bit longer here. Stay with your breath in through your nose and exhale out. Nice. Perfect. All right, gently lift yourself back up and we'll still keep our heel in pretty darn close with us, but we're gonna face this left leg. So this right foot, plant it just inside of your left thigh. Bring it pretty close. And maybe you can even use your arms to help you bring your foot in even closer with you. From this place, if sitting up tall is a bit of a challenge, again, just bring your hands back behind you. That should give yourself a really good lift. If you're feeling like you're able to hinge a little bit, do that as well. Totally understand that your right thigh is in some ways just blocking you from hinging forward. It's true, no problem. If you are feeling quite able to hinge and you'd like to, you don't have to. You might reach for somewhere on your left leg. Maybe it's your foot, maybe it's your leg somewhere. Again, this is a bit of a tight compression and your right leg almost serves like an obstacle. So this might be a bit of a big ask. But find a good place where you can really find your tight compression, whether it's grabbing a hold of something on your left leg or it's hands back behind pushing you forward a little bit. Let's hang out here also for a full minute. So getting our bodies more familiar with that tight compression feel. And then best we can, maintaining the length in our spine and also best we can, the evenness in our hips. So right butt cheek wants to lift up. Best you can, you kind of lower it down. All right, let's hang out here just a bit longer. And it's normal with this tight compression that it's not a familiar place for our bodies and not particularly comfortable. It's normal for it to feel not amazing. But we'll do a release soon enough. Take your time here in through your nose. Take full advantage of your exhales to soften any places that might be tense. See if your hip joint is slightly more willing then. One more breath in through your nose. And exhale out. Nice. All right. Real quick here, let's gently undo if you've grabbed onto something or you're simply sitting upright. Just like we did that little twist earlier, we'll do one here as well. So from this place, left hand close with the base of your spine. Lift your right arm up high toward the ceiling. Think again if we can get this right armpit inside of our right leg. So really reach forward. And if it's possible, you take this right arm, wrap it around your right leg. Maybe your left hand, this guy, comes up and you wrap to match. Here as well, we're doing the best we can to drop our right butt cheek down. It's a big ask. All right, wherever you are, let's say this is not working for you. You can also see if you can use your left hand to pull against your right shin and get a deep forward fold best you can. Maybe your hand stays here pushing against your left leg, or maybe you can brace it just behind you, finding your forward fold. Wherever you are is perfect. Again, we're doing a lot of this compression, which for some of us might feel pretty accessible. For some of us, it might feel quite a bit not. So take your time with it. We'll be here for a full minute. Think of it just as a forward fold. You want to maintain some length in your spine as you hinge. Open your chest and allow yourself to exhale out any tightness gently, gently. Allow this posture to feel slightly more familiar, slightly more comfortable, is that the right word? In our bodies. Little bit, breath by breath. And I forgot to mention, actually, if this is quite accessible to you, your other option for your arms, just in case, let me go for it, you would take your left hand to your right wrist. I'm gonna lift my right butt cheek up. You can see a little bit better. My right fingers are free. My left fingers are reaching for my right wrist. Drop your right butt cheek back down. Yes. Okay, the good thing that we're hanging out in these places for a little bit longer is that hopefully with a bit of time, our bodies are slightly more willing. Very good. One more breath in. Maybe hinge a little bit deeper. Very nice. And then we'll slowly unwind. So whether you have the bind or you had your arms pushed away, let's undo it. Still in this position, we have one spine twist. Now you can simply take your left arm in front of your right shin, lift up tall and then give yourself a twist from there. Or if your body is willing, and if you're willing, you can lift your left arm up and see if you might be able to go for the outside of your thigh. Your right butt cheek will want to lift up, and maybe as you get your arm on the outside, you need that a little bit of a lift. Once you've done that though, you drop your right butt cheek back down. Your arm can be up here, down here, whatever it is. Try though, we keep our legs in their lanes, right? Meaning even your right knee is not interfering into your left side leg lane. Lift up tall, pull your belly in tight, and exhale, twist. Let's even stay in this twist for a full minute. The thing I like about if you have access to get your arm on the outside of your right leg, the thing I like about it is that you push your leg into your arm against your leg, so you have this pressure working against each other, but for each other as well, right? So the push of your arm against your leg against your arm provides this wonderful, beautiful twist. Each inhale you take, you know this by now, you lift up a little bit taller. And the wonderful thing about taking these very deliberate breaths is that amazingly, each time you take your inhale, somehow you can find a little bit more lift. You can pull your belly in just a bit tighter. And then maybe on your exhale, you can leverage this pressure, arm against leg, leg against arm, to twist a little bit deeper. And twisting is by far my most favorite of all the different ways we can move our bodies. It just feels like a perfect wringing out of our spine, which is perfect for a Sunday evening. All right, one more breath here. Really lift up tall, pull your navel in tight, and exhale, go twist, go twist, go twist. Nice. And then very carefully here, let's untwist. Ooh, all right. Switch out our legs. So let your right leg extend long. Absolutely take on any shakes or anything else that you need to do for yourself. And then we'll move into our other side. So bend up this left leg, and this will be more like our knee toward our armpit situation. Flex your foot so your right toes face up toward the ceiling. And get your heel in as close with you as possible. All right. For this, just even setting this up might be a very big ask for your body, but we're spending a lot of time in each position. So hopefully, breath by breath, we feel a little bit better. All right. Left arm, right, inside of our left leg somehow. You can brace, you can reach your arm up, you can take your half bind. If you're feeling it, I'm actually going to turn this way so you can see it a little bit better. If you're feeling up for it, you come all the way inside, right? Your shoulder, your armpit basically goes right where the crease of your knee is, and then you wrap your left arm around. And then when I do this initial wrap, I'm not going super far, right? My left hand kind of reaches gently toward my left butt cheek, maybe a little bit higher if I can manage it. And then this right arm maybe matches. Just like earlier, we try best we can to drop this left butt cheek down, which for me is not the most natural thing to do, so I have to make a very deliberate effort to do it. And if this is very accessible to you with the bind, you can start to inch your way a little bit closer. Your left hand reaches for your right wrist to help, hopefully, a gentle pull to let your right shoulder roll back a bit more. So spend some time here, wherever you are is perfect. We're just getting this tight compression. And if you're kind of newer to finding these types of tight compressions, not to be frustrated. You just little bit chip away at it. I feel like a lot of these things are simply a matter of repetition, not a particular like, oh, you know, this person just has a whole bunch of talent. No. It's just repetition, doing it over and over and over again, and being willing to push yourself maybe sometimes. I know we're in a mellow class, just a little bit to maybe beyond what you feel super comfortable with doing, right? So I totally know that there are times when I'm in a place and in a stretch, I'm like, oh, I can hang out here for days. And then I'm like, wait, I don't want to do that. What's the point, right? I want to find a place where it feels like mildly challenging. It feels like I might not be able to sustain, and hang out there. So each time my body is accustomed to me just tiptoeing that edge. All right, enough of me talking, right? If you have the bind, let's gently let it go. Good. And then we're keeping ourselves with this leg situation. And then just notice, especially if hip-wise you have a little bit less access, that your knee will want to cave in. Try to keep pushing it back out. And you can even use the help of your left arm. Okay, so our next one, well, let's just face the space in between our both legs. Your hands can be back behind to give yourself a really big, tall lift. Right, I love this. Just as we set up for a spine twist, I always like that lift to prop myself up. You can always bring your hands in front of you. If you can maintain some length in your spine. Notice as you come forward, if your hands are coming forward, that your left knee doesn't dip down with you. You want to keep your left knee facing up toward the ceiling as you hinge. Again, finding this tight compression. And the first couple of times, if you're finding yourself in this position for the very first time, it'll feel maybe not the most familiar, most comfortable place ever. So take some time with it, no problem. And again, if you feel like this left leg, no matter what you tell it to do, is still being very heavy and coming inside, maybe you take that brace of your arm situation, right? And I find that once I'm here, it's really difficult for my left leg to fall down, right? I shouldn't say really difficult. It's slightly, you've sort of like done a little baby lock on it, a baby gate. It won't fall, maybe, hopefully, quite so easily. And if you have your left arm braced, you can also attempt right arm in front too, to just get a feel for it. If all of this feels super easy, again, we'll just check in with the details of dropping this left butt cheek down a little bit more, which to me, maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe you think that part is quite easy. For me, for some reason, that part is not the easiest thing for my body to execute. So this might be just a me thing, not a for everybody thing. All right, let's take a couple more breaths here. See if you can maybe find that inner thigh stretch along your right side. Good. All right, let's gently lift ourselves up. We're keeping our right leg extended, but we'll move to kind of a more square position. So I'm actually going to bring my right leg forward because I want to face this direction. So your left foot, just place it, sole of your foot, right next to your right thigh, and scoot yourself up. So again, it's pretty tightly compressed, right? So rather than here, you're in as close as possible. Yup. And then find this place, right? I like the hands back behind just for a little bit of lift, a little bit of stability as I find a suitable position for myself. So maybe this is the suitable position and you stay right here. Maybe you bring your left arm around, grab a hold of the outside of your right thigh, find a way to keep yourself forward folded. Forward folded, that sounds funny. Yes, or if you are feeling pretty able to hinge, maybe you reach for something, your foot, something like this. Wherever you are, we're hanging out for a full minute. Notice the moment I reached for my foot, my left butt cheek came up off of the floor again. So I need to find a way to keep it all down. My leg will lift. Maybe I'll stay here. I want to do the best that I can to keep my left butt cheek down. Even in this place where you're doing this forward fold, it's really easy to let yourself round, right? Your left leg is this huge obstacle that you have to work around. So do the best that you can to think about your halfway lifts, even though you have this big obstruction in front of you. Still able to find that length in your spine. You're still able maybe to forward fold. And by the way, I know some of you know I did like a weird heel hook, so my right hamstring was weird, and then I fell funny, and so I re-aggravated my right hamstring. So this was in like the course of like just 2 weeks. But I kid you not, all the little activity that we've done together every single day has really helped it out, and I feel like my hamstring is kind of in good shape. After I aggravated it the second time, for a while, I was like, oh no, we have to restart, right? Go back 10 steps, that whole business. But I feel like it's actually come back a lot more quickly than that first time I aggravated it. Knock on wood. All right, let's gently lift ourselves up out of that one. We're still staying in this position, right? We're incorporating that bind next. So, right hand close with your base. Pick your left arm all the way up, and let's see if we can get this left armpit basically inside our knee crease. So I'm reaching up, hinge forward, reach your fingers forward, and see if you can wrap, right? This might, again, be a big ask. See if your left fingers kind of hit just about your butt cheek, maybe higher. Right arm lifts up, reach. Find yourself in a little fold. Remember, you can skip that bind entirely. Maybe you hinge super far forward and you grab onto your right leg instead. Maybe you take it into like a half brace and you keep holding your left leg with your right hand to avoid it falling all the way down over to your left. Wherever you'd like to stay is perfect. For me in this place, I know earlier when we did that bind, it felt like it was more obvious for left hand to grab right wrist. For me in this one, I actually like right hand grabbing onto left wrist, because for me it feels like it's the left shoulder that I like to draw back more, right? So I am gonna see if I can make that happen. So it looks like this. So I've inched my way along. These are all very incremental movements. And then I like this because it gives me more leverage then to draw my left shoulder back and offer my chest some more space. Let's hang out here for just a little bit longer. Breathe best you can, even with this big obstruction. Keep your left butt cheek down the best that you can. Continue to flex hard your right foot. And even though this feels kind of like we're sinking down, you work against it by lifting yourself up. And it's a very subtle difference, right? But you know when you have more activity in your core relative to this passive situation. All right, one more breath here. In through your nose. Exhale, preserve all that length. Exhale, go fold. Nice. Ooh, gently come back up. Release this bind or whatever you have. We're staying here for a little bit longer. Ooh, this compression. Check that your left knee is facing up toward the ceiling still. We have our little spine twist. So left hand close with our base. Remember, you can take the option of giving yourself like a half hug, your right arm basically hitting that spot underneath your left knee. Let's see if I can bring this left foot closer to me. If you have the space to do it, maybe you get your right arm instead on the outside of your left thigh, right? So remember, this is not better or worse. To me, it offers me more leverage to twist deeper, but that does not mean that it is better for you or that you want to do it tonight, or whatever your body is saying yes to is perfect. All right, so if you're taking that one with your arm outside of your leg, use your left hand again, lift yourself up tall, reach your right arm up, and it's kind of a big twist. I let my left knee drop over to my right a little bit so I have more space. But once I'm there, I no longer want to invade the space, the lane of my right leg. I drop my left butt cheek down, and we stay here for a full minute. Your right arm, you might keep it bent, you might keep it down. I like my arm just naturally down. I notice a lot of people like their arm bent in this shape. I don't really find that is helpful for me, so I don't do it. But a lot of people I know do. So totally experiment with it and see if that works for you, and continue to do it if it works for you. All right, we're here for that full minute. So take advantage, I think, with twists, oftentimes, because as it relates to our spine, we need some time. So I think oftentimes we don't give ourselves enough time to kind of hang out, let our bodies respond. But hopefully here for that full minute, and with this leverage of arm against leg, leg against arm, we can experience a bit more depth. On your inhale, see if you can lift up a little bit taller. This might not be something that is very obvious visually, but that you feel. And on your exhale, see if you might be able to twist a bit deeper. And that's a little bit, for me, a push of my arm against my leg leg right back into my arm. Good. We'll take one more breath here. So you can drop your left butt cheek down a little bit more. Lengthen. Excellent. Exhale. Go twist. Go twist. Ooh. Go twist. Nice. All right. Gently, gently. Let's untwist. I feel so wrung out. Ooh. All right. From here, let's bring ourselves into not a boat, but both heels in pretty darn close with us. Let's wrap one arm around our shins, wrap the other arm around our shins, grab a hold of your opposite elbows or something, and see if you can get your heels in as close to you as possible. Maybe that's as close as I can get. And then from here, we'll do just a couple of things that are slightly more active. So as you keep this really tight hug of yourself, let's see if we can lean back. You'll come up off of your heels onto your toe tips. And then see if you can tilt back a little bit farther. I'm going to walk my toes in even closer to me and see if you can pick both of your feet up off of the floor. Squeeze your knees in close with your chest. Hold right here. Continue to squeeze your heels in close. Breathe. Nice, slow, steady. Hold for 4. Hold for 3. Super, super tight compression. Hold for 2, nice. Hold for 1. Gently, gently, toes come back down. Gently, gently, you lower your heels down. And then look right now which arm you have crossed on top. So for me, it's my right arm crossed on top of left. You just remember what you do. We'll do the opposite in just a bit. So I did right on top of left. I'll remember that. We're taking ourselves all the way down to the ground. So slow, slow, however you'd like to get there. Gently, gently lower yourself down and let these legs go long and straight. So we have a little bit more compression to go before we let ourselves stretch this area out. Let your left leg stay long. Bend up your right leg and take an interlaced finger grip. I'm going to go my right fingers over my left fingers first, and then gently pull. So allow your knee to go closer toward, let's say, your right shoulder, and then drop both shoulders. Instead of curling them up, relax them down. So almost like a squeeze of your blades. So you relax your shoulders down and away, squeeze your blades together, give yourself a tight squeeze. Knee compressed in toward your right shoulder. And as much as you're using your biceps to help you pull in, let your shoulders relax. Let everything else relax. So you just feel that tight pinch in your right hip joint, but everything else fairly relaxed. Good. From this place, let's gently let go of the interlace. I'm going to take my left arm and swoop it underneath my right leg. All right. So here I'm pretty still compressed. I'm going to take my right arm and lift it up. So I've almost locked myself in place. Now, this might be a bit of a shock as you do it, so not to worry, I'm already warning you. You're locked yourself in place, so this knee is not going to come away from you, right? So just to repeat one more time, my left arm is hooked, sort of my forearm area is hooked underneath this right leg crease, and then my right arm, I'm just lifting it up, so I've locked myself in place. My right leg is no longer going anywhere. Now, careful. You're going to keep this tight lock using your arms and start to kick your right leg up toward this ceiling. Now, as I said, this might be a rude awakening. And that is just fine. Meaning, with your leg super close in with you, right? Your knee is basically touching with your chest. How far can you extend this right leg? It might not be a lot. That's okay. If this is a lot to ask of yourself, try bend up your base leg, right? So your left leg, plant the sole of your foot flat against the floor and work from there. See if that makes a difference. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Now, wherever you are though, let's hang out. So, we're here for a full minute. Let me just double check so we know. We're here for a full minute. How can you keep your right leg really hugged in close and extend your right leg to the best of your ability at the same time? Your tail might be lifted up off of the floor. I'm exaggerating right now. But best you can, you want to let it sink heavy. Extend your leg from there. Breathe nice and easy. You might need to back off of it a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready to begin again, you start to actively send energy out through your heel again. But it's so interesting, right? The moment you keep your leg pulled in super tight into you, and then you try to extend your leg, it's like such a world of difference relative to you just extending your leg up here. We're almost there. Last breath. Really kick out through your heel. Best you can kick. Nice. And gently, let's bend up that right leg. Release all of this locking business. And then grab any part of your leg that you see fit, right? It could be your thigh. It could be your calf. It could be your heel, your ankle, your foot. And then you pull your leg in closer to you. Now you have a little bit more space. You're starting off with a straighter leg. Pull in close to you and see how that feels. Your option to bend up your left leg or straighten it, totally whatever you'd like. So we'll be here for a full minute as well. And as with all of these things, especially as we're taking like this very deliberate amount of time to be in this place, you keep it active, right? So each time, a good way I like to do it sometimes is not just this with this straight leg, because I feel like the more you pull, the more my leg just wants to bend. So let's say this is kind of where my initial point of resistance is. I like to do a little bend of my leg, so my knee comes in closer to my chest. And then best I can, that was a very small bend, right? Best I can, I'm going to keep my knee right where it is and extend my leg from there. And that small bend and that full extension should offer you a humongous stretch down your right leg. So you do not need to do this humongous bend of your leg only to push your leg away. You want to keep that small bend, keep your knee where it is, and straighten out from there. We're almost there. Just take one more breath in through your nose. Maybe you use both arms wrapped around your calf. Out through your nose. Very nice. All right. Wherever your leg is, let's just take it out to our right hand side. So, nice and easy. You can either reach your right hand to your calf, your inner thigh, wherever works better for you. Your left hand can remain on your left hip is perfect. If you like to try a little locking situation, as you bend this right leg, take your right arm and sling it underneath. So now kind of where my arm bends hits where my leg bends, and then I extend out from there. Whatever works better for you is perfect. You can either do this top business, this sling business, or if you want to reach for the outside or inside of your foot somewhere, you can also just simply do that. We'll hang out wherever you are for a full minute. Lastly, if you have a lot of access, you don't have to necessarily do same side hand to foot. You can experiment with, if you are so inclined, your left hand to your right foot. And I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to peek out from underneath a little bit and reach from there. So my left hand is grabbing the outside of my right foot. I don't know that I needed my right arm inside. And then the main thing to check is that your left hip does not pop up off of the floor. Good, we'll hang out for just a little bit longer. See what you can do. Yep, and then let's gently release the leg. So bend your leg, return back through center, and let your right leg relax. Shake it loose. Take a couple of breaths where we're not having to do anything at all. And we'll move on to our next side. Remember, all of these things we can do with our non-working leg can be straight or bent. So you just decide what works better for you. Your non-working leg is now your right leg. You keep it straight, you could keep it bent, your choice. Let's bend up this left one. Interlace your fingers. I'm gonna go left fingers crossed on top of right fingers this time. And then with this, start to pull. So never are your arms completely straight. You use the strength of your arms to help build a little bit of flexibility here. So gently with every exhale, as we spend some time here, see if you can pull your left knee down closer and closer with your left shoulder. It's so tempting for these shoulders to hike up, roll up, relax them back and down. Take your time here. Feel your shoulders both fairly balanced weight-wise. So at no point in time do we start to fall over biased to our left. Good. Take a couple breaths here. Every exhale as you deflate your belly, see if you can pull your knee in a little bit closer. One more breath in through your nose. Exhale out. Okay. So our next order of business, we'll gently undo and we'll take this right arm, swoop it underneath our left leg. Take your left arm, lock your right arm in place. Now you've locked yourself in place. Your left knee is not going anywhere. Be prepared for this to maybe feel a little bit challenging as you start to send energy out your heel and gently work a longer left leg. You might hit your terminal place pretty quickly, and that is fine. Take your time. Experiment if it's quite difficult to start sending energy out your heel and working a longer leg. If it's quite difficult, maybe bend up your base, your right leg, right? Your non-working leg. But wherever you are, we have this locked into place situation. Knee is super close in with our chest. Heel going out and away from us. We're going to hang out here for a full minute. All right, so take your time. Really keep it in close. And at any point in time, you need to back off a little bit. Back off, totally back off, right? And then when you're ready to start again, you send energy out through your heel again. The thing is, when you back off by letting your heel come in closer to you, you're still maintaining this tight compression, which is huge. So don't even worry. Don't feel like you're slacking. You're not. You're just giving yourself time to enjoy the compression for itself, right? And this is just the added hamstring stretch. So not to worry. Take your time with this. I love it when we can use our own body as our prop, our point of resistance, our point of, our way to create more resistance for ourselves. And this is a perfect way to do it. Take your time. We're almost there. Let's just do one more breath in through your nose. On your exhale, see if you might be able to kick out a little bit deeper. Nice. Good. So gently bend your right leg or left leg again and let go of this contraption that you've created. So you can grab then now, maybe your calf, maybe your thigh, whatever it is. You start with a longer leg and you start to draw this leg in. Take your time wherever you are. And you can play around with it. What I said earlier with that small bend of your knee and then straightening out from there. It's something that I find to be quite effective, but that might not be the case for you, right? You might find another way where you're able to go deeper into your stretch and keep it in that place. For me, this side, you can probably already tell, is a little bit less accessible for me. So I'm not going to force anything, but I am going to apply a little bit of pressure to draw my left leg in closer with me. Another thing, if you notice that we're here for a full minute, another thing, if you notice that your leg is not cooperating in terms of finding its maximum straightness, that length, you have to be gentle with this though. You can also, right now my leg is like slightly bent. You can gently take your left hand then, push just above your knee. So you have my right hand at my left ankle. I'm just gonna gently create some resistance and then pull in closer to me. Right. And just right now by demonstrating that, you saw how much I was able to pull in. It doesn't feel particularly comfortable, but it tells me that I could have pulled in a lot earlier. So I was a little bit not going for my full potential, and I should have done that a lot earlier. Maybe I have a bit more. Sometimes you don't know when you're not doing all the things that your body is capable of, and you surprise yourself. This is that injured leg. So I was like, ooh, I totally want to baby it. But just in that demonstration, I was able to go a little bit deeper. So I really should go a little bit deeper. Take 2 more breaths in through your nose. Maybe wrap your arms around your leg, pull in. And then one more time, inhale through your nose. Exhale out. Good. All right, from this place, we're just simply moving our leg out to this side. So you can decide how you want to do this. Your bottom leg, remember your non-working leg can be bent or straight. I like to keep my right hand on my right hip. You'll probably know if you just fall over to the side, but to me this is helpful as a guide. And then you decide what you want to do with your left arm. So it can be from top down, right? Your hand on your calf, your hand on your inner thigh. Or earlier, just naturally, it felt very comfortable for me to wrap my left arm sort of around my left leg and grab from my left ankle and pull from there. So whatever feels good for you, that feels natural to you, where you can sustain, do that for yourself. And you're just drawing your leg as close as you can towards your ear. We'll be here for a full minute as well. If you find that this is like super accessible for you and you'd like to, you can do the opposite as well. So your right hand to the outside of your foot. And you can even use your left hand to help just push yourself in a little bit closer. And I actually like this left arm freed out as opposed to this earlier thing. I don't know what I was doing earlier. This left arm out to me feels quite a bit more accessible and gives me a lot more space just to hang out here. So whatever gives you best access. Of course, if all of this is not working, you take an external prop, right? A piece of clothing, whatever it is, wrap it around and pull yourself in closer. External props are totally awesome. I personally find that if you're able to just do it without an external prop, I personally like to do it without. It's not even like a physical thing. It's sometimes for me a mental situation where I feel like if I ever have an external prop, I'll start to rely on that external prop and somehow feel like I cannot execute that same thing unless I have that comfort blanket, whatever it is, or that hoodie, or whatever it is that I'm using as a prop. Let's just take one more breath here. And exhale it out. Good. Let's gently undo. So bend this leg, return it back through center, and then let it straighten out completely. Do nothing. Take a moment to think of when we were sitting still in sort of that like boat position, like sort of boat. If you remember which arm you crossed over when we grabbed our opposite elbow. I did right arm over left, so I'm going to do left over right now. So bend up both of your legs. Your knees coming in. I'm going to do it from the side view. So your knees come in close with your chest. It might be the case that as you wrap your arms around your shins, you see my tail lifts up, right? And then you wrap. Once you find your wrap though, see if you can drop your tail back down. Notice if your chin is up, lifted, and the back of your head is not on the floor. Do a little lift, a little tuck, chin toward your chest. And these shoulders that want to hike up toward your ears, go relax them down. I love to visualize just unrolling my yoga mat or unrolling some wrapping paper. Whatever gives you the best visual. You want to let your spine unravel as well, right? So think of
rolling out your yoga mat, rolling out some wrapping paper, whatever it is. Do that for your spine. Top of your head all the way down through your tail. One long piece. That tight compression you've got. With this arm position, you grab onto opposite elbows or something like that. Maybe your wrists, maybe your forearm somewhere. I love this position. It just feels so nice to lengthen and to find that tight compression of my hip joints too. And with time, I personally feel that as my tail can lower, my upper half, so my belly area, and my lower half, my thigh area, start to flatten out on top of each other. Squeeze your knees a little bit more tightly, get a better, stronger grip. Relax your shoulders. Unravel your spine. We'll be here for a full minute. Keep your chin tucked. Back of your head, your neck. Let that go long. Even in this place, take full advantage of your exhales to let your tail go heavier. To relax your shoulders just a little bit more, not only down toward the floor, but away from your ears. This posture is really great for digestion as well. I gotta tell you, I ate some pot stickers just before class. Feel a lot of digestion happening right now. That's on me though. I was like, I've got to have those pot stickers, so that's definitely on me. We're only here for the next couple of breaths. Relax your shoulders. Relax your tail. Keep your chin tucked, your neck long. One more breath in through your nose. One more breath out through your nose. And since we have this tight compression already, we'll do one more thing. We're already on our backs. We have the tight compression. We'll switch this grip, so let go of your elbows or your forearms, and we'll go underneath. All right, so you wrap, and see if you can pull your legs in just a little bit closer. Totally allow your tail to lift up. See if you can just pull yourself in. And if you're like, ooh, I like it, and I want my legs to be even straighter than this, maybe you can grab a hold instead of your ankles and then gently straighten out your legs, pull yourself in a little bit closer. Maybe you wrap your elbows around your calves. Maybe you flex your feet, see how that feels. Maybe you point your toes, see how that feels. Maybe you lengthen out your legs a bit more. Maybe you want to keep it fairly passive. Right? Wherever you are, we'll hang out here, your either passive or active position, for a full minute. We're all about the full minutes today. Take your time. I think generally the flexing of your feet offers you quite a bit more stretch through the backside of your legs. But I think the pointing of your toes offers you something else, which is this lovely stretch on the tops of your feet. And this range of motion I find to be super helpful for like kneeling or any other seated positions that you might find yourself in. So both have merits where you just play around with it, see how that feels. We're almost there. Take a couple breaths, maybe even experiment with wherever your legs are to drop your drop your tail down heavier. And maybe visually you cannot really tell, but that offers me a huge stretch as well. Good. All right, let's bend up these legs. Take your knees into your chest, one final tight squeeze. And gently let these legs, these arms, fall out. Breathe. Just take 2 breaths here. At this point, totally feel free to close your eyes. It's so nice to take the opportunity to still be very much awake, but no longer have to process additional visual information. What a luxury. Full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Let's bend up these legs so the soles of your feet are flat against the floor, and we'll do a little drop of our knees over to our left hand side. Nice and simple, chill. Your next inhale, return your knees facing up toward the ceiling, and then let your knees drop gently over to your right hand side. Let your glutes relax. Nice, slow, deep breath. Next inhale, return your knees to face up toward the ceiling. And then if you want to take your Savasana here, you might knock your knees together, open up your feet maybe a bit wider. Or maybe you let your legs go completely long and straight again, right? Couple different options. Take on whatever works better for you. If you like to exit out, you can follow me. Start to gently open up your knees again. Lift your feet up off the floor. Grab the backs of your thighs. And give yourselves a little rock forward and back, forward and back. If you're in Savasana, totally stay there. And your next rock, sit yourself all the way up. And a comfortable seat is perfect. Whatever works better for you. Keep your eyes closed. Hands on your lap the way we started, or hands on the floor. Empty out your lungs. Take a couple breaths together here. Full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. One more breath here. Full deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. Your next inhale, open your eyes. Oh, it feels so good, stretchy. Thank you for working compression stuff with me today. It's probably one of those things that's like often overlooked, and I don't even think of doing it that often. But I think just having access to getting your knees into your armpits is really helpful, like more helpful than you'd think. So hopefully it offered you a little bit of something different, but stretchy and warm and all that wonderful stuff too. Great to see you. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. And of course, we're on for our 9 a.m. quick bit tomorrow morning. So I'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful Sunday. It was so nice and warm today, so that we can bundle up for the snow tomorrow, right? Oh my gosh, Scotty. Hey, Shauna, Molly. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye, my friends.